On the day that I shot this footage, there were 8 flights on 5 different airlines from Los Angeles to Tokyo Haneda. You can't really go wrong with any of them, but more often than not, I tend to gravitate towards ANA, especially when I'm flying economy. This video will explain why, except maybe for the part about the first meal service. I recommend skipping over that part. Hey everyone, it's Scott from SANspotter.com again, coming to you from Terminal B, the international terminal at LAX, one of my favorite airport terminals in all the world. Current time is about 10:30 p.m., and I know it's a little bit late for me, but I've got very good reason for being here. I'm here to catch ANA Flight 105 to Tokyo Haneda, scheduled to depart at 12:05 a.m., but they're running about 20 minutes behind schedule. It's going to be economy class on the Boeing 787-8. A first for me, at least on ANA. That said, this is not my first rodeo in terms of ANA late-night departures. They don't feed you very well, so I had to take some time out to grab a quick bite to eat before heading over to the West Gates. This flight is going to be departing out of gate 204 this evening, which didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me considering how empty this portion, or at least this side of the terminal was. There was nobody over here, but all of the late-night flights, and there are quite a bit of them here at LAX, had been relegated to the West Gates, which seems a bit counterproductive, but what do I know? Anyway, it's a really nice walk. It's an underground walk underneath the taxiways over to the West Gates, kind of like how it is in Atlanta, Detroit, but the most interesting thing is that I'm still not seeing anybody yet. There we go. That's more like it. Oops. Don't worry. He was okay. There were 4 other flights departing around the same time as ours. I think 2 flights to Mexico, 1 to Paris, and 1 to Tokyo, I think. Which isn't surprising given the number of flights between LA and Tokyo, both Haneda and Narita on a given day. That said, this is the 787-8 that will be taking us to Haneda this evening. It's a 10-year-old aircraft, registration JA828A, and it had actually arrived from Haneda over 7 hours ago, so I'm not really sure what the reason for the delay was. It was raining in Southern California at the time, so that could have been part of the problem, but they didn't say specifically what the issue was. But really, when it comes to these late-night departures, whether it goes out at 12 a.m. or 1 a.m., doesn't really matter. It's late, I'm tired, I think everyone's tired, and you just want to go. Things were very well organized as they got the boarding process underway, in typical ANA fashion. They were very strict, but polite about getting everyone on board within their zone numbers. No cheating. And it's that kind of enforcement and organization which is one of the reasons why I like ANA so much. Oh, and the congestion here in the jetway? It's all part of the economy class experience, no matter what airline you fly. ANA's long-haul international product is kind of all over the place at the moment. Some aircraft, such as the 777-300ER, are really nice on the inside. All new interiors, really nice business class, premium economy. But this 787-8, and I think all 787-8s for that matter, feature the old interior. So it's the old business class, and there is premium economy. It's not great. And then here we have economy class, which I'll admit, it's not great just by looking at it. It's very basic, but that legroom, you just cannot complain about that. This is yet another reason why I like ANA so much. Though, to be fair, you'll get the same amount of legroom in JAL economy as well, Japan Airlines. So, take your pick. For me, it's usually ANA, since I have a United Mileage Plus account. And this is a Star Alliance airline, so the miles transfer over, and it's all good. Yeah, I got some basic headphones here. Nothing fancy. The typical ANA blue pillow, which is always fluffy and nice. And then also the typical ANA blanket, and trust me, it's a lot more comfortable than it looks. And of course, there's USB charging ports underneath the video screen, but let's be honest here. This is all about the legroom. I'm liking this a lot. Something else that I'm liking is the fact that I thought that I was going to be stuck in the middle seat, but the aisle seat was open, as there were a lot of empty seats on this flight. So the person who was sitting in the aisle moved to a different seat, and I moved over to take the aisle, and suddenly life was really, really good. Things were looking up, even though that I knew that there was a mayonnaise sandwich and a banana on the way. This is seat 29G, by the way, if I didn't mention it already. It's about halfway back, or halfway down the economy cabin, and it's a pretty good location. It's not too far from the lavatories, and definitely not going to be the last to be served. And it's probably worth noting that I would choose to sit in this row again if I ever had to fly ANA 7878 economy. Although, if I had a choice, I would choose the 777-300ER instead, with the new interior. It's so much better than this. And finally, as we make our way out to runway 25 right, I'd like to take this opportunity to encourage you to sign up to the SANspotter newsletter, link in the description below, if you have any interest at all in reading about my experiences on other airlines that I don't always share here on YouTube. I'll be completely honest with you. I think that the ANA in-flight entertainment system here on the 787 is not all that great. Now, it is very well organized. It's very easy to understand, even when it's all in Japanese. You can switch it to English if you want. But it's very simple, very basic, a little bit dated, and the selection of content isn't anywhere near as good as what you would get on a US airline like Delta or United. They do provide decent headphones, though. I'm talking proper headphones here with cushy ear coverings, which are a lot more comfortable than the earbuds that most other airlines will sling at you. So, all in all, not all that great, but not all that bad either. Okay, so here we go. This is the part that I warned you about, the meal service. At least the first meal service. Again, this is a very late night flight. We departed at nearly 1 a.m., so you can't really expect much in terms of food, and the fact that they provide any food at all is something we should be thankful for. This is the typical late night ANA snack box. Got a cookie this time, which was excellent. Those are awesome, by the way. And then the typical mayonnaise sandwich, which, by the way, you even get something like this, very similar to this, up in premium economy as well, so yeah, and of course there's the usual banana as well. Another very typical ANA thing is this half-filled cup of beverage, but at least they give you bottled water, that's good, and then you can also go up to the galley to get more of those whenever you want. But the main takeaway here is that it's okay to pay $20 for a chicken salad in the airport terminal before your flight, because you're not going to eat very well on ANA, at least after 10:30 p.m. I've done a lot of long-haul flying over the years, especially in economy class, and I'm here to tell you that it's hardly ever comfortable. No matter what airline, what seat, long-haul economy is just brutal, but I will say that doing it on ANA is a little less painful than a lot of other airlines. It's the extra leg room and constant attention from the cabin crew which makes it more bearable, I think. I wasn't able to sleep all that much, but it gave me a good opportunity to walk around for a little bit and test out all the lavatories. Yes, I actually did test them all, and unfortunately, I don't have any good news to report. They're all the same, but the ones at the back may be just a smidge bigger. Back at my seat now, and it's worth mentioning again what I was saying about the cabin crew and their attentiveness and their proactiveness. They were up on their feet this entire flight, coming up and down the aisles every 5 minutes with cups of water and snacks, just looking over everybody, making sure everyone's okay. And I don't know, it was just that personalized service which made it more comfortable. Didn't stop me from getting delirious though. I think we went inverted as we crossed the international date line. It's not like they woke me up or anything, as they turned the cabin lights on about an hour and a half prior to the meal service. I may have been feeling tired, but I was definitely ready to eat. Here's the breakfast menu. What would you choose? The flight attendant who handed me the menu recommended the chicken, probably because she needed to get rid of the chicken. So that's what I went with. Got some noodles there, and we can open this container here. Not expecting much. Da-da-da. Yeah, it's chicken, with a piece that looked like it died while trying to escape. Anyway, there's two types of chicken in this. There's little chicken meatballs and little chicken pieces with some vegetables and some rice. Not all that bad, actually. Typical economy class food with a slight Japanese twist, and thankfully much more substantial and much tastier than the first meal service. This was quite good, actually. I also appreciated the fact that the meal service didn't feel rushed. They just took their time, let everyone kind of wake up and eat, and by the time they got all the trays cleared, we were approximately 30 minutes out from Tokyo Haneda. So, perfect timing there. It's that kind of attention to detail which makes ANA one of my favorites, and I know it's kind of hard to see in video form how this was so good, but trust me, this was so much better than Delta or United or American, or many other airlines for that matter. It's the politeness and professionalism of the cabin crew which makes all the difference, and it just goes to show you that you don't need the perfect seat, you don't need the perfect in-flight entertainment system or food, if the cabin crew is so good at what they do. And on ANA, it's always like that. Every flight I've ever taken has just been top-notch in that regard. That said, I will admit that the seats here on the 787-8 are getting a little bit old, and I would like better food for the first meal service on these late-night flights, but other than that, I can't complain. I will be flying ANA again, I'm sure, many times, and even though it's on my to-do list, I'm sure it's going to happen automatically. Anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to sign up for that newsletter, link in the description below. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.